Your prototype design is meaningless, Liam. Messy and inefficient. Nathan's voice cut sharply through the conference room. Outside the glass walls, the San Francisco sun blinded anyone who looked out, but inside, the air felt cold, like frozen water. He leaned back in his chair, a familiar smile playing at his lips, half disdain, half deliberate. He tapped a pen on the table, as if crafting a rhythm, each tap pricking at my nerves. I sat at the other end of the table. The screen in front of me flashed the code I had written over 3 straight months. Every function, every loop, was a result of nights spent rewriting and perfecting. I knew that logic was flawless. But to Nathan, it was garbage. Liam, project manager Clara finally spoke, not lifting her eyes, just flipping through the meeting notes. Nathan will handle next week's project presentation. Nathan raised an eyebrow, his smile widening. Of course, no problem. My fingers curled under the table. That presentation was supposed to be my moment, my work, my effort, taken away with a single sentence. As the meeting ended, chairs scraped across the floor. Nathan passed by me, lightly patting my shoulder, so faint only I could hear. Next time, bring something of real value. A few colleagues chuckled quietly. Their laughter was like needles in my chest. I didn't respond. I closed my laptop and left the room. As the glass door shut behind me, I caught my reflection, calm, quiet, nearly transparent. That night, I sat at my tiny desk in the apartment. Neon lights reflected off the window onto my screen. The code scrolled line by line, silent as a message of revenge. The air conditioner hissed. My fingers shook slightly from typing. I stared at the code, thinking only, I can't endure this anymore. Over the next months, I became the invisible man in the company. Nathan completely claimed my work. When he presented my prototype to investors, he spoke eloquently. Applause erupted. Lights hit his face. I stood in the back, watching my familiar logic being hailed as his inspiration. The company secured a second round of funding. Nathan was promoted to chief engineer. I remained at the lowest rank, software associate. I didn't quit. I just became quieter, arriving earlier and leaving later. They thought I had accepted my fate, but I was waiting. Late at night, the office almost empty, I sat alone at my desk. The screen glowed coldly. I built new systems, faster, more stable, cleaner architecture. Every debug measured to the millisecond, every test meticulously logged. I told no one. Not for show. This was preparation. One night, while clearing old server backups, I stumbled upon a hidden folder. Simple name /archive_nav. I opened it. Dozens of code files appeared, all revision history intact. Every variable name change, every structural tweak. It was my work, only renamed by him. I leaned back, quietly exhaling. He hadn't just stolen it. He'd carefully erased traces. For 3 days, I backed up every original file, version, commit log, screenshot, everything. At that moment, I realized I was no longer the victim. I was a witness and a judge. Days later, the company chat buzzed with news. Nathan would represent the company at the San Francisco Tech Innovation Forum. Topic: the future of AI. I felt no anger reading it, only a calm resolve. I knew this would be the last time he appeared publicly using someone else's work. I continued working, unnoticed, rewriting the system. It was an upgraded version of my original algorithm, my true creation. I added a self-check mechanism. If the algorithm was modified, it would display the original author and timestamp. Undeletable, unforgeable. I didn't act immediately. I waited for the moment everyone could see the truth. 6 months later, the company announced a joint project, Nextera Labs and Orion Systems, launching a revolutionary AI algorithm. Led Nathan Brooks. Press release flawless. Breakthrough intelligent architecture, led by our chief engineer, an industry milestone. I read it almost by heart. Every line of my code was in that algorithm. On the morning of the launch, San Francisco rained lightly. I wore a dark gray coat, standing outside the crowd, watching the media lights flicker. Nathan walked confidently onto the stage, suit perfectly tailored, Behind him, the massive projection screen showing my system framework. He spoke smoothly. Today, we present the future core of Nextera and Orion, a proprietary intelligent algorithm. I sat in the last row, hands folded in my lap, invisible to the lights. He pressed run. The program executed flawlessly. 3 seconds later, the screen flashed. White text appeared on black. Code by Liam Carter. Created January 12, 2024. Unauthorized use detected. The room froze. Camera flashes paused for 2 seconds, then blazed again. Reporters whispered. The CEO went pale. Nathan's smile froze. "Teach, that's a system error," he stammered. The CEO's eyes were cold. "Errors don't carry author names." Within 10 minutes, the backstage tech team verified logs. Every call, permission, modification traced to Nathan's account. I sat in the corner, silently watching him fumble, voice fading until it vanished. Security escorted him off stage. Flashbulbs rained down like a storm. I felt no thrill, just quiet relief. Years of weight in my chest finally lifted. That evening, the company released an urgent statement. An internal tech infringement investigation is ongoing. Nathan's account was frozen, his title revoked. No one in the office dared ask me anything. I packed my desk, slipped the external hard drive into my bag. My evidence, my new beginning. The rain had stopped when I left. Reflections shimmered on wet asphalt as headlights stretched long shadows. I walked into a corner cafe, ordered black coffee, opened my laptop. A new project file glowed on the screen. ArcLight Systems. That algorithm, rewritten and optimized, was now my core technology. I wasn't seeking revenge. I wanted to prove one thing. Some truths cannot stay buried. 2 months later, TechBay Journal published a long article. A silent engineer exposes Silicon Valley's largest code fraud. He redefined originality in the coldest way possible. I didn't give interviews. I ignored old colleagues. Until one night, Clara emailed. I was at the launch. "I never imagined the algorithm was really yours. Liam, you deserve a bigger stage." I stared at the screen, typed a line, then deleted it. Some words need no reply. A year later, ArcLight Systems' office opened across the San Francisco Bay. The dusk light filtered through floor-to-ceiling windows. Young engineers debated and coded. I sat by the window, watching. Someone asked, "Liam, how do you make it big?" I smiled. "Don't chase applause. Make something truly yours. The recognition will follow." Sunlight struck my screen. Lines of code glowed like new life. I looked at my reflection. Calm, clear. This time, I wasn't rising from ashes. I was finally seen.